Alrighty, are we live? I think we are live. Are we live? Let's see. I'm getting my phone up here. I believe we are live. Hey, we are live indeed. Now I just need to wait for people to roll in. Hello, anyone joining? This probably won't be a super long stream. Probably won't be super duper long, but I just wanted to say hello. How's it going? Talk a little bit about Pokemon Sleep. Maybe discuss a little bit about it. Hey there, Jay. GX Love. Good to see you in chat. Good to see you in chat. Yo, the Bizzler. How's it going? Good to see some people already hanging out. Whoa, AI chatbot Velocity. I don't have an AI chatbot. It's just me. At nearly 11 o'clock at night. We got we're at Lapis right now. Pretty standard. Not really trying all that much this week, as we know. Hey, Byzantium. Pretty good to see you there. Good to see you there. Getting the double proc on Cresselia. Always good to see. How's it going, everybody? Y'all having a good night? It's just a pretty standard night. I kind of was like, didn't know what to talk about. Well, I typically don't know what to talk about for these streams. I just like to do streams. That's all. I enjoy it. I think you guys enjoy it. Just chatting it up, talking about Pokemon Sleep. And there's a lot to talk about right now with Darkrai. Now, I just wanted to mention it because, you know, a lot of people have already kind of talked about Darkrai. What time is it for you? 11 p.m. 11 p.m. I'm in Central Standard, so I don't know what it is for you, but time zones are funny. There's so many options here now. It's kind of funny. This wasn't here not that long ago. It used to just be bean sausage, and then tails was what they had listed here, but that was just as a filler. I'm kind of interested to know if we compare. I'm gonna just put an alright healer here. Ah, yes, an alright healer. We're gonna do... We'll do my crest. Just, well, that wouldn't be realistic, though. We'll go with my Gardevoir. It's alright. Nearly 5 a.m. Sunday in London. That's nearly a full meal cycle ahead of you. Yeah, I suppose. It'd be 6 hours? 6 hours ahead? Yeah, that's a bit of time difference. Yeah, that would be a full meal cycle in-game, because noon to 6 is the duration for lunch. Breakfast is 4 to noon, so that's 8 hours long. Yeah, it's currently dinner time. You can see I can feed Snorlax dinner, although I haven't really been feeding him much. I've been tossing him like a single ingredient, just because my ingredients are not synergistic at all this week. And there's like no meals for me to make. I'm making fancy apple salad, I will say that. With the apples I've gotten from Nightcap every now and then. But that's like all I'm doing because, I don't know, I might need these ingredients, and this week I don't really care about it. And if anything else, I can use it tomorrow to have higher crit odds, higher expected value in the expanded pot. So, I've just been doing this, and it's primarily just for the energy. Like, I'm not really trying to make strength right now. So, gets me back a little bit of energy, which is pretty nice since my team's underperforming for energy right now. Because I'm using Cresselia at a level 4 main skill alongside a Chansey with a level 2. So, and that's all I have for healing right now. The Arbok could heal itself if I was collecting his procs, but I'm not. So, as of right now, this is what we're operating with. We almost have one 444, 444 strength, but we're one off from that. Lying on Nightcap Pikachu is the true meal struggle plan. I mean, I'm not really trying to rely on it. It's just like oh, I'm happening to get some apples from him. May as well put them to good use. So, yeah. Yo, average weekly strength for Lapis is 3.5. I'm guessing 3.5 mil, regardless of meal time. I could do a lot better than what I'm getting this week. Yeah, million. I could do a lot better than that this week. If I open up team analysis, like, I really wasn't trying much this week, but this could be like my ideal Lapis setup, and if I do this... Oh wait, that's accounting for a meal. What if I don't have a meal? I don't actually know. Hello, looking forward to your in-depth analysis of Darkrai. I'm looking forward to it too, to an extent. It might be kind of disappointing. We'll see. It depends on what the devs are actually doing with Darkrai. If it is a way that a lot of people think it's going to be, I may actually not end up making a video on it, just because I don't want to encourage investment into it if I think... I don't want to talk about how to optimally invest into it if I think that investment into it to begin with is a suboptimal decision. So I may... Because if it truly is 25 pips for every single Eureka Seed, I genuinely think that that circumstance makes it a kind of scummy mechanic. Just because it's so gamble focused. And I talked about this in the Discord with you guys quite a bit before. That'd be so heavily gambling focused, because the idea is you have to purchase how many biscuits to catch just one Darkrai, and you just keep stuffing biscuits down its throat because it's the New Moon event is the whole concept. That's just encouraging people to go out and buy a bunch of biscuits, and for what? For a single Eureka Seed, which could be used to gamble on a single slot. To be for a single slot. Yeah, that's like all it'd be for. Versus, say, just hunting Sneasel. But it's not even versus, say, just hunting Sneasel, which, yes, that would be more optimal. Hunting Sneasel. I think hunting Houndoom is honestly a better decision. Because, honestly, they have similar... they have very similar main skills as well. If I just compare, like, Houndoom versus Darkrai, yeah, Houndoom's going to do worse. But Houndoom's not going to drain your team's energy as well. So, I mean, is it worse? Of course it's worse. But also, you're accounting, like, oh no, it's 14k worse at level 60. Like, I don't know. I think that is a gimmick. I hope they offer great bundles to fill up Darkrai. Yeah, I hope they offer something, because if it's genuinely the only biscuits that we have right now are the only way that we can catch Darkrai, then that's just horrendous, and I think, borderline manipulative. To an extent that I don't know if it'd be my first case where I'd actually disagree with the devs. I don't think it's going to be that way, because I trust these devs. They've made good decisions all the time in the past. But genuinely, if it is that way, that feels like a loot box mechanic. That's like genuinely... Like, to me, it feels like a loot box mechanic. Because you're spending IRL dollars on biscuits. And you use those biscuits to hope to get something good in the sub-skills. It feels like just a loot box mechanic with extra steps. Which is encouraging gambling to an extent. And kids can play this game. Kids can play this game. You're allowed to play it if you're under 18. So, you just can't have access to friends. So, but if anything, it's more encouraged for kids to do that, because then you get more candies. Meanwhile, hopefully if you have access to the friends, then everyone's going to be sending out Darkrai candies when they encounter Darkrai. So, I mean, it's just... It feels unethical to me. It feels unethical for them to, if they were to make it 25 pips, and that you have to catch it for every single Eureka Seed. So, it's not even a matter of min-maxing to me. It's a matter of, I don't want to encourage it, because I see it as actually, like, addictive game mechanics. Actually, like, gambling in games. So that's why I'm like, unless they make a way to make catching Darkrai more accessible than other Pokemon, if our current mechanics are the only ones to help us with catching Darkrai, and it's one Eureka Seed per catch, I'm hoping maybe it's like maybe multiple Eureka Seeds per catch. That would also work. But if it's one Eureka Seed per catch, I genuinely don't know if I can support the idea. I don't know if I feel comfortable supporting the idea, and that's why if they set it up that way, I don't think I'm going to make a video on it, ever. Just because I think that it's unethical. But hopefully I'm trusting these devs to give us some sort of way to actually collect Eureka Seeds so that it doesn't take hundreds of dollars to get a decent Darkrai and months of playtime. Hundreds of dollars plus months and months of playtime. At least the Darkrai incense wasn't data mined, so no incense in a 1200 gem M bundle. Hopefully we get Darkrai biscuits. Yeah, I'm hoping for Darkrai biscuits or something to make it that free-to-play players can actually catch it. Because if it's 25 pips, and like the only way you're catching that is with a Master Biscuit, and if you're spending a Master Biscuit as a free-to-play, you're not catching much else. And that leaves you with the decision of play the game the rest of the month, or get a chance at Darkrai, or spend money on the game. Like, you have any of those three options. You can't do it fully free to play, continue to actually play the game throughout the rest of the month, and also have shots at Darkrai being decent. So, but if they make it that you can actually, if they make Eureka Seeds actually obtainable for anyone who's not mega whaling the game, then you know what? I'll make a video on it, and I have some neat ideas, but I mean, just this comparison alone doesn't really bode too well for it. In fact, what does it look like at level 100? At level 100, even if you take it all the way, which, how do their productivities in every way? Skill. Obviously, ingredients, Darkrai does better. If we make this comparison, and let's assume that you get, like, the highest, I don't even know what the highest value ingredient proc is for Darkrai by ingredient. I'm gonna guess 6 sausage, probably, or maybe 5 herbs. 5 herbs feels a bit more than what the others are. So I'll do herbs. Well, obviously the highest value base one's gonna be coffee, because it's the highest one with the base value, and they're all 2 at base. But past that, they should be about the same for raw strength. So 179k versus 151k. I guess this isn't with health bonus stacks set that way. That makes it look a little bit worse, but oh gosh, 10? That's not possible. For what they're raw outputting, these guys aren't that bad, but the health bonus realistically should be the equivalent of the two because they're both supporting the team the same way. So this is really the true difference between them is, I guess, 180k versus 150k. So about 30k difference at level 100. Like 20k difference at level 75 and at level 60. Like 15k difference. So like I really, even Houndoom does decent and doesn't cost $1 million. It doesn't cost hundreds of dollars. And when I say hundreds of dollars, I mean hundreds of dollars. But yeah, that's mini rant aside about Darkrai and why I don't think the devs are that way. I'm not preemptively angry because I'm just saying if it is that way and they don't give us any way of doing that, I'll be upset. I'll be disappointed. Maybe not necessarily upset, but I'll be disappointed that they went that route. And it makes me worried about the precedent for future Pokemon added to the game. Because that would be just mega whale friendly and just like a huge middle finger to free to play. That one of the most beloved mythical, one of the most beloved legendaries that they announced via the Pokemon Presents is effectively not usable unless you're willing to spend hundreds of dollars on the game. Because I will say this, even me as a premium player, I can't afford that. I don't have those kind of biscuits. Anyway. How does it compare to Weavile? Weavile probably actually looks worse than this because it has a not-so-good skill for production comparison. Hey, Orendor. Good to have you in chat. Good to have you down there. Yeah, Weavile actually looks the worst of these three, even though it's not. How bad is the XP curve for Darkrai? Oh, man. The XP curve, that's another factor. It's worse than... It's more than Raikou and Entei. Or Raikou Suicune. And Alesh Day. So let's assume that's already at level 25, because that's about where most people caught it. Or I'll make it 30 to make it more justifiable. Let's take it from level 30 to 65. It would take 1,500 Handy Candy S or 4,700 handy or regular candies. To get to level 60, it would take about 1,000 Handy Candies. Just over, actually, to take it from 30 to 60. So that's gonna be a bit much. If we compare that to, like, a legendary... Let's see, 1309 versus 1595. How much is that really? It'll take about 20% longer. Sleep XP bonus dark. Okay, Sleep XP bonus is something that I really... It's nice, don't get me wrong. 4,700 days of sleep. Well, realistically, this would be... How many would that be? If you didn't use any... Oh, yeah. 4,700 candies. Yeah. 4,700 days of sleep. That's not necessarily days of sleep. It's, that divided by 4, realistically, is what it'd be. But, yeah. Sleep XP... Okay. Sleep XP bonus, I think, is a much more overrated skill by a lot of people. Because the problem with Sleep XP bonus is that it only increases the XP from sleeping. It's right in the name. And I feel like most of our Pokemon, we level them via not sleeping. We just use candies. So, like, Sleep XP bonus is nice, but how much of it is really coming from the sleep? And I do want to do the math on that someday. I've tried to do the math on it in the past, but I was reading the calculator wrong when I was trying to do it, and my spreadsheet got all jacked up because of that. So I had to basically start from scratch, and I just haven't come back to it before. But realistically, I'm like, how much does... Like, first off, it's only 14% faster to begin with. Which, 14% faster doesn't mean a 14% decrease in time. It's the opposite of the, it's the opposite of the effect that we get with helping speed in this game. So, because of that, it's like, how much does it really help? And I think that a lot of people overrate it, because like, oh, it's nice to get extra sleep. Are you a sleep sprinter? Like, sleep, as in... I sleep... I guess I don't know what you mean by sleep sprinter there. I do get a lot of sleep hours with my Pokemon. I get hundreds pretty consistently, because I what some people would call cheat. I don't classify it as cheating, but it's the whole idea of, and even if you do classify it as cheating, whatever. I don't care. It's a single-player experience where there's no competitive aspect. So that's why I don't have any moral qualms with cheating. It's like a group in the sleep math court. Oh, no. I know what you're talking about now. No, I'm not in the sleep sprint. I've seen that before. My opinions vary quite a bit from a lot of the community. And I think, honestly, a lot of people that, like, say they're really heavy min-maxers would, honestly, really hate a lot of my opinions. Particularly about the mono-ingredient meta and meal synergy. Now the level cap is expanded, we can't farm Handy Candy S from our level 60 Pokemon. It's not the optimal play, but yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be... That's something else. A lot of people write off the Handy Candy S from our level 60 Pokemon as being, like, not worth it. It's not worth it. Oh, they recommended them to me? Oh, well, that's neat. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Some people... I have differing opinions than a lot of people, so I wouldn't be surprised if people recommended me to them. I make a lot of content, and even if you don't agree with my opinions on mono meta and other things like that, then I think that there's still value in my channel. So that's probably why. Do you think premium's worth it? I debated on and off, but finding your channel shows me I'm probably missing out a little. I mean, personally, I think premium is well worth it, but, I mean, what's the value of a real-life dollar to you? That's something I would say consider, because if you have the money to spend on it, I do think there's enough awards that it makes it worthwhile. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be just worthwhile for the access to the premium shop, plus the 4-point premium daily biscuit alone. and the extra 1,000 sleep points per month from it, whatever. But then there's like, there's a few other benefits as well, and I think those are like the biggest ones that draw people in, though. And I think that if you play the game enough, you do get the value out of it. But what's the value of a real-life dollar to you? Is that $50 over the course of 6 months or $10 a month? Is that going to break your budget? Don't break your budget over it. It's a mobile game. There's min-maxing, then there's just having an understanding of how things work and making decisions that make sense to you. Yeah. The 3-month reward is super cool. Yeah, the 3-month reward is also pretty nice. I always kind of forget that it exists, and then when I get it, I'm like, oh, that's right, that's a thing. Premium is worth it to me. It's the only game I play currently, and it's fun to me. Yeah. Honestly, I think that Premium is the way the game is intended to be played. Yes, free-to-play exists out there, but I do think of it as a demo mode, almost. Because it does block you off from sub-skill seeds, which are a pretty big resource. Sup, y'all? I'm catching the VOD later, but just wanted to say hey. Hey there, Ivan Brown. Glad to have you drop in chat, even if it's only for a few seconds. They give sub-skill 3 seed for the 3-month reward. Yeah. Rand getting the 3-month reward and getting the Handy Candy L. Let me evolve my first Dragonite. Nice one, Mouse. Yeah, it's worth it if you have the money for it, but once again, real-life dollars versus in-game dollars. I can't tell you how to min-max your budget, because only you know your budget. So I'm not going to give a go out and buy it recommendation or don't buy it. It all depends on what the value of a real-world dollar is to you. Sounds great. Sounds great. Whoa, we can talk slander against Ivan Brown without facing the consequences. You can right now. He said he's going to watch the VOD, though, so... I don't have the chat on screen, so you guys can't see actually what you're saying, but I do try to talk to every single chat message that comes through, as long as that's sustainable. I haven't had a problem with that yet, but... yeah. Chansey. I do like Chansey's look in this game. I think that... What? Did it just, like... Are my Pokemon, like, having seizures or something? I swear I just saw them, like, vibrate back and forth. Or maybe it was my eyes doing something weird. But yeah. I think especially with Darkrai coming out, it's going to be difficult. Well, we don't know how... Realistically, we don't know what collecting Eureka Seeds looks like until the New Moon event comes around. And because we don't know the value of a Eureka Seed, I don't feel comfortable making a video about how to min-max Darkrai until we know the value of a Eureka Seed. But I don't mind talking about it a little bit. But realistically, it's something very interesting. I don't think that it's really worth all that much consideration. Doesn't interest me from what I've seen so far for many reasons. It can be... Honestly, I think the most interesting application of Darkrai is one that most players aren't considering because, well, like I said, many players are focused very heavily on the mono-ingredient meta of get the right... Love your game models. Can you run us through off-meta ingredient lists? I kind of have a video that talks a little bit about them, but the biggest ones that I'd say would be Dragonite, Charizard, and Dragonite. Isn't the mono ingredient on it kind of awful? Yes, and that's where it's interesting. Yo, thank you, thank you for the super. That's cool to see. 199. Thank you. I never know what to say when I get supers, other than I'm just appreciative of it. Alrighty. Yeah, Kima Tyranitar is a big one. I have an entire video on it, actually, that I released called Power Pairs. Well, touches a little bit on a lot of power pairs. I touch on that one primarily, but there are a few other combos that I found. I also found a really interesting one. There's a few that a lot of other people have talked about. Some people have talked about Aggron with Cramorant for Defiant Salad. It's not perfect, though. They can't really reliably do it, and I don't actually talk about it in my video because I intentionally did not talk about Aggron Cramorant because I didn't want to encourage people to go hunting a 16-pip Pokemon. So that's one that... that is one that theoretically could exist, but I wouldn't recommend it. As for other ones that actually work pretty well... what's the other one that I talked about? I found a lot of good synergy with early game Neroli's T. Well, but I guess it's not really off meta. I forgot the one that I had for dessert. Oh, yeah, it was Blastoise, AAB Blastoise with AAC Vikavolt. I think is a pretty fun one. Anyway, I hope there will be missions which contribute towards the Eureka Seed. Yeah, I just hope there are other ways to get Eureka Seeds. If there are other ways to get Eureka Seeds, or if they make catching Darkrai more reliably, maybe we befriend it with only a single biscuit and it auto mega hits. That'd be something, because... one per month, and you have to spend 25 biscuits on it every time. Or, I guess you could optimize it to get maybe like half the value, but either way. Even if it's 10 biscuits, that's a lot of biscuits. And definitely not worth it, so... It's only worth it if you like Darkrai, and even then, I still wouldn't say it's worth it. But yeah, I think the biggest, most interesting use for it... So, a lot of people have already done analysis, and a lot of the analyses that I've seen of Darkrai is that it's not useful because it sucks from the mono ingredients perspective, so don't even consider it for ingredients. The second thing that I've heard is berry finding. It's okay at berry finding, actually pretty decent at berry finding, so maybe we can consider it for that. Because if we're looking at its berry productivity compared to the other options, it's only slightly worse than Weavile. Not by much, but slightly worse than Weavile. And Weavile is one of the strongest berry specialists in the game, so it's worth consideration while also having a strong main skill. The biggest thing going for it is the fact that it's got a blend of all three of these things: ingredients, berries, and skills. But even some people are saying that's not very useful. Like, it's very expensive to get it to work, and it's not very useful. I think the more interesting idea for it is to obviously go berries focus. Berry focus seems like the most obvious route. But then trying to hit up one of these synergistic lists that didn't previously exist to make a potential power pair. I think the most interesting one of which is, well, one that's interesting to me with the sleepers is ginger and corn right here with a Comfey, apple and milk. Apple and milk is shockingly synergistic. There's a few good recipes that exist with apple and milk that I think is kind of synergistic. But the fact that you can, like, customize it... Oh, whoops. The fact you can customize it across all these ingredients, there's new ingredient list potentials here that didn't previously exist that could maybe make power pairs. So, something to consider, I suppose. Okay. I'm using Darkrai event to hunt more Onyx. Shiny chance buffed. I mean, yeah, the New Moon event is alright. There's no problem with it. It's only a problem if they make Darkrai 25 pips like that. And then it's just a problem with Darkrai. It's not a problem with the event. The event still seems fun. One maybe per month if we can't get dosing during the event. I wouldn't... Yeah, if we can, like, be guaranteed, or, like, for very minimal investment, just something that's more free-to-play friendly. Hopefully not shiny locked. Well, it's already pretty much confirmed to be shiny locked. As of right now, it doesn't have data for a shiny... It doesn't have data for a shiny sleep style, so... Yeah, I think the shiny looks a little different than this. It seems pretty likely now that we don't get a Darkrai event. If that's the case, it seems much more likely to get another legendary event this year. Which one do you predict will be next? I'm not... Oh, well, okay. Darkrai and Cresselia felt really obvious because they fit the remaining islands. But if we think about it, there's still theoretically the ghost... It's not a ghost type island, but like the Phantom Island that doesn't exist yet that we're all theorizing is the next one. Which, if that's the case, it's Bug, Dragon, what's the last? Poison. So theoretically, it could be like any legendary to exist because like they're all dragon types. I do find it weird having a Pokemon you already have showing up to sleep. Yeah, because the whole concept of the mythical is that there's only supposed to be one that exists, so I don't know. Might use Darkrai instead of trying to find a Mono Blastoise. I mean, it's also possible. The problem with that is you have to get lucky enough to roll them, and Once again, the reasoning why I don't want to make a video about optimally using Darkrai is because I want to make suggestions off of what I consider to be reasonable skill spreads. Because, like, obviously this is not a reasonable sub-skill spread if it is how a lot of people are theorizing it to be, of, like, 1 Eureka Seed per 25 pips caught. If that's the case, nobody's getting this except for the really ultra mega whales. That's the only people that's getting this combo. Or someone who's just extraordinarily lucky, because there are some of us that are like that. I would have never guessed that I would have had my Entei, but I do, so... realistically, though, like, only the mega whales are going to get this sort of thing, and get exactly what they want, because they're the only ones that can afford it. So I don't think it's necessarily... I think my conclusions, and just looking in advance, depending on how rare Eureka Seeds are, I think my conclusions are already kind of set, but could vary depending upon the value of a Eureka Seed. I think my conclusions are going to be, don't try to build your Darkrai. Get your Darkrai, see what its subskills are, and then consider that that's what it is. Maybe try to touch it up a little bit, but if it's not good on first roll, you're probably never going to get enough seeds to make it good eventually, so that's my thought. It really looks like we will have to catch Darkrai every time for a seed. Thing is, there's no value that it's 1 seed per catch. Like, there's nothing that's been promised to us on how much it'll catch. And I don't think the devs would do that, because I discussed this earlier in the stream. I think it'd be genuinely scummy and encourages it, and is basically a roundabout loot box mechanic that's actually, like, illegal in games, in some countries. So that's where I'm like, I don't think the devs would touch on that. The fact that Mons don't get full easily means it's meant to spam. Yeah, but maybe the idea is you spam your biscuits and you get, like, 1 catch and then it gives you, like, 5 seeds or something. Like, we don't know what the result is going to look like. And everyone that's saying, oh, it's going to be 1 biscuit or 1 catch of Darkrai at 25 biscuits, like, or maybe they'll introduce a mechanic to give us Darkrai biscuits. Maybe they'll make it all maybe they'll make it hungry every time. Like, we don't know. And that's what I'm just trying to say. We don't know, and I trust the devs to give us something that is not such a ridiculously whale-focused and gambling, like, gambling-esque mechanic. I'm not tossing my Great and Ultra Biscuits on RNG seeds. Yeah, exactly. I'd rather use that on a... I'd rather use those sleep points that are used to purchase those Great Biscuits, or diamonds used towards other things. There are other things you can do with it. Make sure to like the live stream. Thanks, Mike. Mike Krogitsky. Thanks. Listen to Mike. I think this is why it's an all specialist. Just gotta make do with what you get. Yeah, that's what I think. I really think that if it is as rare as people think it's out to be, my suggestion is make it whatever you get. If you get a boatload of ingredient finding, maybe try to make it be an ingredient finder. If it's not good on first roll, just don't try to touch it up. Let it just RNG be RNG. It's gonna be like every other Pokemon in that sense. Be cool if we got missions with Darkrai biscuits that week, so everyone technically has more chances. Then premium players can add their great biscuits if they want. Exactly. That'd be a mechanic. If we got event missions... Now, I don't see that happening because it's supposed to be like a monthly thing, and we don't have full moon missions, so... But that would be a cool way to go about it. Like I said, there's other ways they can go about doing it without it being so scummy. I feel like most of us would spend greater than 25 pip resources on a catch, of the resulting Eureka Seeds could change a subskill on any standard Pokemon. So I imagine devs want to make this rare to get. I mean, I don't know if people would spend 25 pips to re-roll a single subskill. That's a pretty hefty investment. And to re-roll, it's not to change. I would spend it if it was to set a subskill, that's for sure. I probably wasn't going to use Darkrai anyway, but I rolled Research XP bonus, sealed its fate. Speaking hypothetically. Yeah, I don't think I'd put 25 pips of resource to get a seed that could re-roll a single Pokemon subskill once. That's a lot of resources. It'd make more sense if each seed unlocked a skill or ingredient set for Darkrai, and then we could switch between them freely. That'd be kind of neat. And then it'd be guaranteed that after a long enough time, you can get exactly what you want. Like, the way that... It was truly RNG every time. You're never guaranteed to get what you want. You could spend years and never see Berry Finding S. Or never see Helping Bonus, either of them. Because it's RNG. That's straight up gambling. And it's unethical, in my mind, if that's the way they go about it. But I trust these devs. I do. I put my trust in them because they've only treated us well so far and have been very inclusive of free-to-play players. But if that's... Everyone that's out there saying it's going to be 25 pips per Eureka Seed, I think... I could be wrong. Only time will tell. But I think that we shouldn't be making statements about how to optimize Darkrai or anything like that. Truly, until we see how the new moon actually makes them work. Just wonder if there'll be friendship levels rewards. Well, I don't think there'll be friendship levels. Oh, whoops. Give me a moment. I don't think there'll be friendship levels, because if we go into here... if we go into the sleep style decks, and I noticed this, like, the day after they added the badges. If you go into the badges and take a look at Darkrai. Where is he? It says no friendship level. You can't get a befriending... And it strictly says no friendship level. So I don't think there's going to be any friendship level rewards. And it's gold immediately maxed. So there probably won't be friendship levels and rewards based off of that. But yeah, especially for something that's, like, not all that powerful. Like, yeah, it's powerful, but, like, look at this. Yeah, Broken Heart. And see, okay, this actually plays a little bit more to my theory that it's not going to necessarily be as bad as a lot of people think. I don't know. Watching how the devs treat Darkrai will determine how the fan base will treat future mythical debuts. If they treat it how people are theorizing it, I will not be spending a single biscuit on Darkrai. I think 90% of players, maybe even more, 90% of premium players will not be tossing Darkrai a single biscuit. I won't even bother if it's hungry. Genuinely, yeah, it's got the 10% chance to mega hit, but, like, it doesn't feel right to spend my biscuits on something that I know will never be valuable. Because even if I get 1 Eureka Seed, even if I get 2 Eureka Seeds, what are the odds that those Eureka Seeds actually give me any value? Hey, Venus, good to see you in the chat. Like, what are the odds that it actually turns out being something that's useful? And, like, even if I get 1 useful skill, it's still never going to compete with my other Pokemon unless I can get a boatload of Eureka Seeds. That's why I'm just like... It's a whales thing if it's how a lot of people theorize. Yeah, nothing's ever going to compete with it. Even if I do roll Berry Finding S help bonus, that's nice and all, but also it's got a drawback. Like, that's the thing that a lot of people aren't considering also. It's got a drawback. Now, granted, you can work around that drawback real easily with just stronger healers. In fact, if you got a really strong healer, then most days you'll be fine with it. RNG is going to treat that a little bit differently because you could have a day that your healer gets bad RNG and your Darkrai gets good RNG. But, you know, that happens in this game. There's a lot of RNG in it, so you're going to have the worst days that are looking worse. But even on the good days, though, like, are they really worse days? Because if it's really good and it drains your team's energy more... Sure, that's a lot, but it's a lot of strength that you gained out of just the raw procs, so... What are its skills? Well, its main skill is, just power up. Hopefully this won't be a trend now, and that it's fully run by Pokemon Works and not Select Button. Well, it is fully run by Pokemon Works, I believe, but... Pokemon Works so far has been good, and from what I understand, Pokemon Works had a lot of say in it before it changed hands, so... Do you think Darkrai will take a spawn slot? There's really... That's a really difficult one to say. Let's see. I guess I haven't really... Because it is a special appearance rate. It says you encounter him that you wouldn't normally meet. Darkrai will sometimes appear in the sleeper, but never appear in the second. It says nothing about it not taking it, so I'd assume it would take it. Might be good on Snowdrop. Yeah. Might be good on Snowdrop is not enough to justify investment or this long-term hunt. And also, the comparison that I have here in front of me is at Snowdrop. This is him at Snowdrop, actually. Bright side, it's a possibility for mono coffee for mid-game people like myself who haven't got old gold. It's a possibility to unlock it, I'd say. I wouldn't suggest... You know how many times you're going to have to re-roll its ingredient list, most likely, for coffee? Because each time you got a 1 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shot. So on average, it'll take 8 for the first slot, 8 for the second slot, 8 for the third slot. That's not perfect. But even if, that'd be 24 to get the one list, like, on average. It could be more, it could be less. It could take just 3. And if you think about 24, if it's really only one Darkrai, like, if it's only 1 per month, even if you catch 3 every month, because it's 3 days for the new moon, that's still 8 months of progression. At that point, just wait till old gold. And even if we look at the comparison of coffee, if we give it jacked ingredient finding sub skills, the best potential. Let's compare this to a Vikavolt. Actually, let's compare it to a Clodsire, because realistically, Clodsire would be an early game possibility with an ABB list. I wonder how this comparison looks. I don't know what it's going to look like. Yeah. Now, if we get rid of this, which really should buff the Darkrai more, it's better, just because the help bonus. If I got rid of that and made this comparison, the Mono Darkrai is worse than an ABB Clodsire with equal sub-skills in nature. And the Clodsire also produces Cacao, so I don't think that's a decent option. You'd be better off just working towards a level 60 Clodsire. And you can actually catch this with good sub-skills. You don't have to work on the sub-skills and level. Because by the time that you have Darkrai to level 50, you probably had enough time to get a Clodsire to level 60. Bit of a topic shift, but kind of related to something you mentioned earlier in the stream when I wasn't there. How do you typically spend your sleep points each month? Sleep points for me... usually exclusively spent on seeds and biscuits. It's very rare that I spend them on anything else. I try to buy Great Biscuits when I can, but it's pretty difficult to these days. Because I've been trying to purchase the free-to-play seed and the premium seed, which has been expensive. It's caused me to be a bit more conservative, but main skill seeds for me are a top priority, because I've got a lot of skill specialists that aren't topped off yet for their main skill level. So it's been just a very, very long and arduous task to collect all those main skill seeds up over time. Level 4 E4E Wigglytuff. I don't think I'm quite ready for... Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'll probably level that Wigglytuff a bit more. Wondering if using good camp tea will improve your chances at seeing a Darkrai or Murkrow. Potentially. Well, definitely would improve Murkrow. We don't know how Darkrai spawning calculations work, though, so we really no way of knowing that one. Would you consider Drift Blimps or Sleep Sleepers, or do you not like playing the lottery? It's Sleep Sleepers legal. I actually have it on Sleepers. I'd show it off. But I caught one very early on and invested a sub-skill seed into it, actually, because I wasn't being the brightest. It was a very good Drifloon, but I consider it legal for it because the skill is so RNG dependent that it's alright. Think it's ever worth using a Master Biscuit? In my opinion, not even the legendaries are worth it since it's so hard to get one. Get a good one, and 4,000 sleep points is a hefty price. Yeah, Master Biscuits, I think they have one good usage, and that is if you are a diehard fan of Suicune, Entei, or Raikou, or Cresselia now, and want one and weren't around during its event. Then you wait until it shows up and use your Master Biscuit on that, just because then you have one. But I wouldn't suggest hunting one, because hunting one you'll drive yourself insane. Or hunting a good one, that is. But you can catch one with it, and that's a decent usage for it. Outside of that, it's not worth ever using a Master Biscuit, in my opinion. Drifloon is a good idea. Actually, maybe skill copy. If skill copy copies, if it copies stockpile, it only copies the charge strength S component, so it doesn't become stockpile for the copy Pokemon. I believe the same is true for Metronome. I wanted to make a Metronome videos, but there's not very great data out there on it, so I never actually got around to it because I'm not sure. But I have a bunch of data that a friend sent me. The guy that got me into the game, he actually ran a team of all Metronome Pokemon for a week and sent me a screenshot of like every single Metronome proc that he got, which created some interesting data. But Master Biscuit at the 1-year anniversary event would be kind of cool. It would have been kind of cool. Kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised they don't give us an occasion, like for very special occasions. I'm kind of surprised they don't give us a Master Biscuit every now and then. Metronome is fun. I have a level 6 Togekiss. I want to get a max level Togekiss so badly, but the min-maxer side of me doesn't allow me to do it because I have so many other investments that need the seeds. I just can't afford it. And it really would be more of a hobby thing than an actual investment. It'd be a just for fun thing. But even at looking at just immediate investments before I even think about what's next, I have my Cresselia needs 2 seeds still. And then I want to get at least one of my Swallots to level 8 main skill. So that, and they're already at level, it's already at level 2, so that's 6 more seeds. That's 8 seeds. That's the next 4 months. Probably like 3 months, honestly, if we get more through events. But that's also assuming that I'm buying the free-to-play and the premium seed every single month. So, yeah, I'm pretty far out there for... I've got like a couple months of seeds already planned on where I'm going to spend them. So, I can't afford a Metronome. I have a good Togepi too, I believe. Let's see. Should get a Metronome event where the event gives us +3 skill level up for that main skill alone. Or, hear me out, every Pokemon's main skill is replaced with Metronome for a week. That would be pure chaos. That would be hilarious. I would love that. Also, every Pokemon collects a random berry. Every Pokemon collects random ingredients. Just full RNG. Maybe that's challenge mode. I don't even know how that would impact things. Probably faster Pokemon would be better. So Raichu would probably be pretty good. Raikou. Well, no, Raikou wouldn't be good because its main skill would be replaced. So Raichu would probably be pretty good. What are other Pokemon that proc their main skill? I guess Golduck. Golducks would be fun if that was an event. Okay, what was I going to look for? I was talking about Togepi, yeah. This Togekiss was one of my earliest game investments, because I saw it had Berry Finding S and thought that meant it was good. I way overvalued Berry Finding S early on. But Togepi, this one I caught the other day, which is actually a pretty solid Togepi. So, Golduck would be a Gatling gun of Metro... Just... What's funny is, okay, I guess I haven't made a Metronome video. I do want to make a Metronome video eventually when I actually figure out all the data and whatnot. I just haven't had the time to necessarily research it, and it's so difficult to find data for it, because not that many people run it. But, when I actually do an analysis of it, my preliminary analysis is, it's not as fun as you'd think it'd be to run a full team of them, because most of the skills they proc are just energy recovery or charge strength, because the pool has more instances of energy recovery main skills and charge strength main skills to pull from. But it's kind of difficult to see what the proportions are, because not very many people have done actual full-on studies of it, so I don't know what the pool looks like, and I don't know if I can confidently make a video on it. I could show the data that does exist, the data that my friend sent me, of all his screenshots, but I don't know how reliable it'd really be, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I've held off. But it'd be pretty cool. I would love to see, like, an actual long-term study with, like, thousands of data points of different Metronome procs, just to see. Do you have a Google Drive folder for your spreadsheets, by the way? Individual in the video. Would love to check them all out in a more efficient way. You know, right now they're just all individual links. My Google Drive is a mess, let me tell you. I didn't think about that, though. That'd be a great way to share the spreadsheets. I would love to just... I could make a I could take some time sometime soon to throw on a folder, so that way I can just share the folder. Hope we see more Mon reworks and phasing out a lot of charge strength skills on Mons. Got it, yeah. I would show you my Google Drive, but I don't know what the titles of things are. It might give some, like, personal information away, so I don't... Nothing I'm trying to hide, but there are certain bits of personally identifying information, even though I'm pretty open and comfortable talking about myself. There are some things that I feel like, just for security and safety's sake, I should not show to the internet on live stream. So, I'm not going to show my Google Drive, just because I don't know what all my folders are named and whatnot. Yeah. I will make that folder, though, eventually. Don't know how long it'll take, because I'll have to sift through and everything and actually find every single spreadsheet. But, yeah, that shouldn't take me too long. Man, I'm realizing again how shockingly good this Togepi is. I just need sub-skill seeds for it as well. Which sub-skill seeds aren't as big of an investment. How's the mod applications going? All done for now. Anyone can apply for mod, honestly. I've had 2 submissions for moderator overall for the Discord. If anyone's interested, please apply, because I would like to have at least 3 or 4. I've had 2 submissions. One person's accepted it. The other person I reached out and said, hey, I'd love to have you as a mod. And then they never responded to my message. So, if more people want to be mod in Discord, please apply. I'll be checking. I check it once every day or 2. So, and so far I've only seen 2 applications, and only one person actually got back to me about offering the position. Why is there an exclamation point in my shop? Did I never collect my daily gift? No, I did. Is it for bundles of some sort? I have no clue what's going on there. Being a mod is too much responsibility. Hey, it's alright. It'd be nice to have more mods. Realistically, I don't need mods right now. Y'all are a great community of people. I trust you all. As of right now, I haven't had any problems. I just wanted moderators for the sake of being proactive. In case there ever is a problem, in case there ever is somebody that's being problematic, I just want to make sure that there's potentially someone online at all times that could mute someone who's being problematic, or unmute them if the auto mod, because I have a bot in there. I have a bot in there, so if it automatically mutes someone on accident that shouldn't be muted, then they can unmute them, so on and so forth. Oh, it probably was for Growth Week bundles. That would make sense. I never pay attention to the bundles, because I never have the diamonds really to spend on them. Because I spend some money on the game, but obviously I'm premium. I buy a couple of diamonds every now and then, but it's a rarity. I never buy the Ultra Biscuits. Join the Discord to watch Mouse's screen recording of sleep research. Nice. That's a great reason to go in there. Custom content, or like Discord exclusive content. Not paid by me, but by one of the members of the community. Yeah, it definitely must be for the bundles. I always forget what's even in these bundles. Growth incenses and biscuits. Cool. I think most of the bundles are not. Well, once again, that's a question of what's the value of a real-life dollar to you. But yeah. Yeah, if we look through all the main skills, it's like energy, energy, energy. Like 3 of the main skills are energy. If it also can pull Moonlight, which I don't know how it works with the modified ones. Like, if it can also pull Moonlight, then there's a 4th one that could be energy. So then that's 4 potential skills that are recharging energy on a Pokemon. If we can pull all the instances of charge strength, there's 1, 2, 3, 4... 4 instances of 5 now with Bad Dreams of potential charge strength ones, if it has an equal chance of pulling any of them. But I don't know how it works. Oh, there's also Lunar Blessing, which is another instance of energy recovery. Out of, how many are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4, 20. Do premium, I also bought some diamonds to get my ingredient bag leveled up some early on. That's a good usage of them, honestly, because it's a permanent upgrade. you know that value can never be taken away from you. And honestly, the ingredient bag is the most powerful upgrade easily. I'm really hoping they give us 800 though. Maybe that's greedy of me because I use the bag so much and like using the bag. And that would just give ever so slightly more flexibility to do more fun things with the bag and get more powerful meals across a week through stockpiling. But I would love to see just 100 more space, and they haven't expanded it, but I think that's just for game balance reasons. I mean, you've seen them expand the Pokebox. Seen them expand the inventory all the time. No, ingredient bag really needs an upgrade. I mean, I'm able to work with 700 just fine. That's the thing is, like, I'm able to work pretty well with 700. I can do this sort of thing with 560, which this team is one that I cooked up the other day just to theorize, you know, if I gave myself no good camp ticket just to see what I could get across the different islands, it was able to reach, like, actually I think it was able to almost master 20. Oh wait, that's right, this was the Snowdrop Tundra specific one. Got to master 16. Power play, expand item bag to 1,000. The item bag being able to go up to 1,000 is just hilarious. I think mine's excessively large because I hoarded in... Oh, that's ingredients. My item bag's only 260, and I feel like it's a bit more than what anyone really needs if you're really optimizing the game. Because realistically, if you could play the game 100% optimally, these should never theoretically hit your bag, ever. However, we can't see the future, so that isn't optimal. If you could see the future, though, then there would never be a handy candy ever in your bag. Just because it'd be most optimal to use your handy candies right. Well, I guess there would be times to wait around for boosting events. So there would be some, like, instances where you'd want to save them. But for the most part, actually no, even in that instance, it'd be theoretically best to just use them right away. Because you'd already know what Pokemon you want to invest in. If you could see the future, then there'd be no reason to hoard these. But we can't see the future, so that changes things. Ingredient tickets, I always forget exist, and I never plan around them because I try to... I don't like things that take RNG. I like to be conservative. Good for new releases. If you could see the future, I would only have handy candy in my bag for the next thing and the next thing after that. Stockpiling forever and never use them. Yep. Use good camp ticket to save item bag space. Do I even have a good camp ticket right now? I do have one. I also have 12 recovery incense. And 14 linking cords. I also have 2 firestones. What are Pokemon they could even add that take firestones? I don't even know, because... I mean, I guess I would like to keep one in the bag, because I would like a Ninetales. I would like a Ninetales, but it can evolve Vulpix into Ninetales, Growlithe into Arcanine. The Growlithe doesn't matter for me. I already have a Flareon, so then the only other things that it could be would be if they ever had Growlithe Hisui, Vulpix into Ninetales for me, personally. That's already in the game. And then... I don't see these last 2 options being added to the game anytime soon. Pansear into Simisear and Capsakid into Scovillain. Yeah, I know Arcanine's in the game, but things in the future, yeah. Things in the future. Capsakid, maybe one day. When we get to that... Hey, Capsakid would be really cool for this game if they ever had peppers as an ingredient. Because, well, it literally is a pepper. I could see the pan monkeys eventually as well. Because they like to give... Sleep devs like to give a little bit of attention to... The sleep devs like to give a bit more attention to Pokemon that a lot of the fans enjoy, but typically don't get very much love in the base games or the other spin-offs. But then some of them still are bad in here. Not gonna lie, I think Simisear has the worst design of the elemental monkeys, maybe. It's also a lot of shared animations. Yeah. Scovillain is a chili ingredient mod. Yeah. Scovillain has potential if they ever want to add, like, chili. chili peppers. I could see them doing that. Okay. Another one that I want to see is my banana boy. That could be a really bad clip. But anyway, Tropius. I want to see Tropius added so badly, and I want bananas. I love this guy's design. I don't know what it is about him. It's also a lot of shared animation. I've got 17 recovery incense and 14 linking cords. I've converted 10 or 11 to candy. I've converted a lot of them to candy. I remember before that was a possibility. And then literally, like, I was just about to dump a bunch to make bag space. And then they announced the next day that in the next maintenance they were going to add a new use to them. And I was like, okay, never mind. I'm going to hold them just a few more days. Good take. Dream clusters are clustering my bag. I'm about to hit research level 60, and will then have forever to make it to 65. I popped a few smalls. Need to make bag space or a small level boost. Yeah. I'm still holding a bunch of dream clusters. Fortunately for me, I have plenty of bag space still. But let's see. How many do I have? 76? I have 76 Dream Cluster S and 7 M. Tropius has a lot of fan love, and yet not much attention from Game Freak from what I see. See, and those are the Pokemon that they like to give a lot of attention to in this game. But again, that's not always the case, because, well, Lucario. But, like, Raichu is one of the best Pokemon in this game. I guess Dedenne is really... Gardevoir is amazing in this game. Dedenne is also really good, but I don't think Dedenne is really a fan favorite, so... I guess they don't make every Pokemon that's bad in the base games good in, like, I don't know. Tropius would be super fun to have. There's an artist I follow who also loves Tropius and has done a Fakemon Mega. I'm not surprised that someone's done a Fakemon Mega for Tropius. He's awesome. When will you do a Dream Cluster giveaway to your loyal viewers in need? Here's the thing. I'm holding my Dream Clusters as long as I can. Because the optimal usage of Dream Clusters is to save them until you need them. And I don't need them right now because they can always add more research ranks, and with every research rank, it increases their value. And especially for me right now, I'm just on the cusp of hitting to rank 62. So there's no reason for me to spend them right now because I could rank up one more time, get just a little more value out of them. Honestly, I might hit that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to hit that tomorrow, aren't I? Absol be Absoling. Yeah, Absol isn't that great in this game. It's alright. It's not a bad Pokemon. It's just too expensive for what it does. Hear me out. They introduced Tropius alongside the 3 monkeys as they introduced the banana as a new ingredient. That would be funny. 3 monkeys and a banana flying guy. I don't even know what to call him. Banana dinosaur. He's just cool. I don't know. This dude, I don't think anyone's asking for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if they add him because, I mean, he's a chili pepper. Honestly, super down. I love the pan monkeys. I would legit love that. I would love to see the pan monkeys as well. They don't get a lot of love by the community. Or they do get love, but they don't get a lot of love and attention by the devs. Tropical Island bananas. Very good point. We have Cyan Beach. It'd be perfect for Tropius. I'm just saying. Lapis Lakeside. Probably wouldn't be as great for Tropius, which would be funny because I can't imagine it'd be flying type in this game. Because it's grass flying type in the base games, if I'm remembering correctly. Grass flying, which it feels more grass than flying. You get some attention on Pokemon Concierge. That's cool. I don't know that much Pokemon lore. Well, I know some Pokemon lore because I've watched a lot of YouTube. My experience with Pokemon outside of Pokemon Sleep is pretty much 100% through YouTube and not much more. So, my knowledge of the base games does not go much farther than what one can gather from watching YouTubers play the game. Monkeys and Banana reminds me of Bloons Tower Defense. What a great game. I remember Bloons Tower Defense. That's a classic from the childhood. But yeah, this team can do pretty well. This is the team that I run this week. It theoretically should have 2.4 million, but I do not see that happening considering that I'm about 1 million behind that. I also didn't really try this week, though. I'm shocked to see it's that far. The calculator is that far off, though. Oh, the calculator also assumed I had a level 6 main skill on Cresselia, which isn't true. 2.09 million? That's a bit closer to what I actually have. Oh, it's also... Oh, wait, my Hourbox level 51. That should have made it better. I don't know what's going on here. I also didn't have a Chansey all week. I had a Happiny at the start of the week. Alright, I should get to bed. Ready for my shift in 2 hours. Oh. Your shift's in 2 hours and you're just now going to bed, man? Oh. I wish you luck with that. Yeah. I said it'd be a bit of a short stream. I actually think I'm going to call it a night here too as well, everybody. It's been rather enjoyable, but it's been a rather short stream compared to what I usually do. But I've enjoyed it. You guys have had a nice night. I've had a nice night. I have to be up early a little bit tomorrow as well, so calling a little earlier than I usually do on these streams. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. As always, I'm going to sign off and say later, y'all. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.